So we're here with James Kell, who is competing in the senior road tax category here at the Kart Championships. James was actually the first scholarship winner from the X-Kart Scholarship, and he is currently racing with Ultimate R. You were with X-Kart for about 3 years. He then moved over to Ultimate R. Obviously, the scholarship. Talk us a little bit from start to finish of that day and what was kind of going through your mind as that unfolded for you.
Obviously, you get there, located at Wilton Mill, you meet all the drivers, meet all the mechanics. There's like a meeting in the cafe normally. You get told like what group you're in. There's I think normally 3 groups. There's fitness, and then on track, media, and you get interviews to see how good you are on camera. It's a good day. I was personally nervous when I went. I didn't think I had a chance, obviously. I was wrong.
I feel like it's always quite nerve-wracking though, isn't it, when you think there's, a scholarship can make such a big difference in someone's year. It's definitely nerve-wracking. Obviously, you felt that, but you won it in the end, so couldn't have been too bad. Would you say you were quite surprised?
When I got to the top 12 and I drove the actual juniors, I said to my mum that I wanted to go home after because I didn't think I was going to win. But she just said, well, you may as well just stay and wait and congratulate the winners, and then ended up being the winner. I was shocked, but yeah, I didn't think I'd win.
So obviously, like you said, you didn't really feel like you were going to win by the end of it. It was going to be a bit of a surprise to you. But besides from that final stage that you were in, was there any point throughout the day where you felt like you could have won, or was it just kind of the case of focusing of getting through each stage when you were against so many people?
I think with something like that, you just got to focus on what you're doing in the moment instead of just worrying or being overly nervous about the outcome. I think that's what helped me. I think instead of panicking and worrying about if I was going to win or not or make the top 12, I was just focused on what I was doing.
Yeah, I think that's a really good piece of advice for anyone that ever does a scholarship. It's one of them where just focus with what you've got in front of you. Don't stress too hard about the outcome. And you never know, would you? So looking back at the scholarship, you mentioned that they do touch on them 3 different points of fitness, media and on track. Looking back on it now, which one of them aspects was kind of the biggest for you in developing you as a driver?
I'd probably say the media with the interviews, because that was what I was most nervous about, because obviously fitness, it's more personal, you don't have to show off for anything. Driving, you just keep to yourself. Whereas the interviews, it's interactions with other people, which normally I'd say I'm not very good with, but I'd say once I started it, it's not as bad as you think. They just ask you a few questions and it's fine.
Yeah. And I think with media, obviously, there is a lot that you have to think about with what you are saying. Obviously, there's certain things that you can't say. There's remembering who you need to thank. I always found that the hardest when you've got lists of people. But yeah, I think obviously it was a really great opportunity for you to kind of develop that. And obviously you're here, you now get an interview and you're doing well so far, so it must have worked. So how would you say that the fitness side of things has actually carried in when you prepare for your racing, even now?
Well, I'd say the scholarship with the fitness made me realise how important it is. I think one of the most important things with karting especially is your endurance and your fitness, because with these long races in the heat as it has been this weekend, you can get tired, you can get bruised, everything can hurt. So I feel like the fitness is one of the most top priorities when it comes to racing.
And would you kind of agree that karting fitness is almost like a whole different level to kind of a normal kind of gym fitness?
Yeah, because it all ties into different things, doesn't it? You don't need to train your arms necessarily. It's more your core, your endurance, like I said, and your neck.
I feel like people don't realise how strenuous karting actually is. When you get someone that just jumps in the kart and thinks it's all right, they're battered. They are battered. So getting used to one of these, especially with the forces, is huge as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So since 2022, the progression and the improvements that you've made since then have been pretty clear. How much of that would you put down to that opportunity that X-Kart had give you with that scholarship win?
I'd say the majority of it, because the first 3 years I'd say as my actual start of my karting career was with them, because before the scholarship I had actually done a bit of karting but weren't really competitive and I didn't really have it in me to go for overtakes or anything. So we quit, and then my mum actually entered me for the scholarship. Then when we won, X-Kart taught me over time to grow a pair and actually drive properly.
And then obviously now you've moved from X-Kart at the beginning of last year, was it? Is that right? You're now with Ultimate R. Talk us a little bit through that.
Yeah, it's definitely great to be on a top tier team, racing on top championships. The reason we moved is because obviously X-Kart don't do British champs or the top tier championships that we wanted to do. So we actually moved to Omaha, and we're finding it very good. Very fast engines, fast kart, nice people. So yeah.
Awesome, sounds good. And obviously, you know, kind of thinking back to the position that you were in back in 2022, how does it feel going from obviously winning that scholarship with X-Kart to now competing at pretty much the highest level of karting in the UK?
Yeah, it feels pretty surreal because I didn't picture myself being anywhere near competitive in karting. I thought it'd always just be a side hobby that I'd just get in and drive for fun. I didn't think I'd actually be competing for a win.
Oh well, look where you are now. So at the beginning of the year, Warden Law, you were the fastest kart on track. When you kind of reflect on that, does it feel like a long way from that day in 2022?
Yeah, obviously it feels like a very long way since I was actually there, but I can actually remember half a scholarship. I think it was because I was so nervous on the day. But I think we've come a long way from that day because I actually couldn't even press the throttle pedal 100% when I was in the X-Karts. I was too scared. Whereas now I'm actually competing for the top step, so yeah.
And obviously, like I say, that development has been crazy from obviously starting off where you couldn't press the pedal the whole way from being too nervous to where you are now, you know, senior Rotax. They're not exactly a slow bit of kit at all. So if you had someone in front of you that was in the exact same position as you were back in 2022, what piece of advice would you give them when they're looking for the first big opportunity?
Just have confidence, believe in yourself. I'd say join the X-Kart Scholarship like I did. That's how I got to where I am. Obviously, if you win, you get to join X-Kart. You'd race in the category Junior Primo, which is like a lower level of junior, because obviously it's quite brutal.
It is tough.
So it's like an entry level, which is like.
And obviously, I think what's good about the Junior Primo as well is that it is actually exclusive to this championship, isn't it? And like we just mentioned, Junior Rotax is tough, even seniors, but Junior Rotaxes, honestly, they're all a different breed of bloody drivers, aren't they? And I think, you know, having that kind of entry-level category that kind of, you know, slightly kind of nicely leads them into when they move up to the full kind of Junior Rotax category, it's quite a nice thing for it. But anyway, thank you very much for speaking with us today. I hope you have a great weekend. You've got the final, have you just got the final next?
Yeah, just final.
And what are your kind of goals, what are you kind of hoping for the outcome? Obviously to win, but what's your kind of game plan?
Just come through on the start. If I can have a good start, then I know I've got the pace. I just preferably don't want big gaps to have to try and race up to. I just want it all to be like a close, compact race so I can come through easier.
Awesome. Well, thank you for speaking with us and good luck.
Cheers.